Okay, so I just did a whole bunch of fertility checks and discovered that I have a huge amount of infertility happening. This is not just a few males that are older. In fact, it's not the males that I expected it to be. It's several of my younger males, which tells me that it's something I did. Maybe I gave them too much of the calcium that I know makes the male sterile. Maybe it's a response to one of the medications I just treated with them with. Or I don't know, but it's not the birds. It's something else. So, the one encouraging sign is that I am finding some birds that have fertility. So, this is Limey and Luscious, who are apparently, there's Limey over there talking to his girl. Luscious seems to have stopped laying at 2 eggs. So this is the other thing I'm finding is I think my older females, even though they've managed to lay an egg, maybe don't, now that I'm not touching the eggs, so they're not kicking them around all the time, I may still have a certain amount of failed embryos happening, but I'm not really sure. So we're going to play this out. But I may have a pretty low yield. So she stopped at 2 eggs. One of them is clear. The other one clearly has some development in it. I'm not sure it looks quite right, though. It may have failed and be in the process of coming undone. Or it may be developing normally because Lacey also has 2 eggs that look just like it. So maybe it's a stage of development that is unfamiliar to me. I'm not 100% sure. It's getting hard to see through the egg, which is a good thing. I can see veins and stuff in there, but there's also a section of the egg that doesn't seem to have any development going. So it's just a lot of white. So it may be normal, it may not. But it looks like I've only got 2 eggs out of these 2. One is developing, one is not. That's okay. With these 2, I only need 1. It doesn't matter whether it's a boy or girl or anything. So we'll take it if that's what I'm going to get. But that diminished capacity for laying eggs is linked to age. And this is a 4 or 5-year-old hen. And clearly this is the last shot for her. So that does mean that Limey has some fertility going. I did get a first egg out of Buster this time. Now, one of the things that happened with Buster and Rainbow last time, she had 6 eggs. The first 4 that she laid were infertile. The last 2 were fertile. So I might be seeing a pattern here because Scruffy and Laurel have 4 eggs. The 4th one seems to be fertile. So it may be that whatever it was that was bothering them is starting to wear off, and the last few eggs the hens lay will be fertile. That would be just fine with me because then I don't have to cull. She's laid 4 eggs. If the 4th one is fertile, she's probably going to lay 1 or 2 more eggs. If they're both fertile, then perfect. I don't have to cull anything. So I'm leaving them in place, even though I have a lot of infertility, because if those last 1 or 2 or 3 eggs are fertile, then I'm perfectly happy with that, because then I don't have to cull. So I don't know about these 2. They just laid their first egg today. I also got my first egg out of Sprite and Fluffy today. So that's good. And these eggs, the nests that look clear are getting left. Okay, so Neon and Angel took 3 completely infertile eggs. And again, I think she has stopped there because she was one of my first ones to lay. So she's kind of due to be up to 4 perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just going to leave them all until their cull dates and see if any fertility shows up at the tail end of this. So maybe 1 chick out of here. Nothing here so far. Too early to tell for Buster and Rainbow. So that's the first stack. Second stack is Haverty and Lacey up here. Now, Lacey's one of the hens I worried about, being too old and stuff. She has 3 eggs in there. 2 of them one of them shows early development and 2 more show later development. So we may have full fertility here. 3 eggs out of 3. These guys, nothing. And Izod made me babies before. So there's something going on here that doesn't have anything to do with the bird. And I'm going to leave him because, again, by their cold date, the last egg or 2 or 3 that they lay might have something going for it. So we'll wait and see. This is Bubba and Gidget, whom I checked yesterday, and they have fertility. One of their eggs had the line of death in it. One of them had a healthy embryo with a heartbeat, and one of them was clear, but it may just have been very young. So we got at least 1 fertile egg in there. And one of them that was fertile but fizzled. And again, so I was thinking that a lot of that embryo loss was because I was opening boxes a lot. I did not open that box. So if she continues to have high embryo loss, then that's about her, not about me. Storm and Azul, fertility. Here's the big surprise. Peabody, clear clutch. No fertility at all. I'm not seeing anything. Again, they have 4 eggs, and I'm going to let him keep going because it may be that fertility shows up. Whatever it is that I did to him that made him go infertile wears off, because I've seen this pattern with both Buster, and I think I'm seeing it with Scruffy over here, who's a few days ahead of him, and finally has an egg that is fertile. So we will wait and see. I'm going to let everybody go to their cold date before I clear nests for 2 reasons. 1, because I think there may be fertility coming at the very end for some of them, and 2, because I don't want to pull a hen out of a nest box who's in the middle of her laying pattern. Because, you know, I don't want her to go put her out in the big flight and have her go egg-bound on it because she has no nest and I disrupted her. So their cold date is pretty much the end of their laying. So I'll wait till then, and if I still see no fertility, because by then they'll be done laying and their last egg will be a day or 2 or 3 old. If fertility is going to show up, I'll be able to see it then. And then I'll clear anybody who doesn't have fertility. I am not giving up on Peabody. I think I did something. I'm not giving up on Izod. I think I did something that made them go infertile. So I'll keep them and try them again next spring. Like I said, it could be I gave them too much calcium, because I did give them more than once a week on several occasions. So, and I just treated them with ranitazole, and I just treated them for air sac mites, and it might be that there's something toxic in one or both of those medications that makes them go infertile. So we'll see. All I can do is wait and see. These guys don't get checked until tomorrow. Fertility check Sunday. These guys don't get checked until next week. These guys get checked tomorrow. These guys on Monday. These guys on Monday. So we'll see what happens. There is still not a whole heck of a lot going on here. My inclination is, now here's something I'm beginning to wonder about. Did I leave Aquinas with in the boy's cage for too long, and now he doesn't know how to be a guy? You know, maybe he thinks he's you know, gay or something because he was never around females. So what I'm going to do is, I have an empty cage here. I'm going to go get Turin and put her. No, yeah, I'll put Turin. I'm going to switch up mates because little Miss Katesh is ready to go. So I'm going to bring in that other male that I have, one of my alternates. I'm going to put Katesh and him over here with an S box, and I'm going to bring Turin in and stick her over there, and I'm going to take this barrier down so that Aquinas can see the other guy mating with Katesh and see if that lights him up, because I suspect he's the problem here. Although I do have to say, Katesh has not been in that nest box. So something's going on with these two, and I'm not sure what it is. So I'm going to split them up and see what happens. Okay, that's it. I'm still waiting on these two, and they don't seem to be in any big hurry, but he is acting, you know, male and courting her. She's just giving him a hard time. So we'll see what happens. And these two, I'm still waiting on a first egg, but they came in here very late along with these two, so I'm not surprised. Okay, so that's the plan going forward. We may have a very low chick count for this fall breeding, but I'm kind of okay with that. I've been breeding birds non-stop since last November. And I wouldn't mind getting a break, you know. It would be nice to get 1 or 2 chicks if those last eggs turn out to be fertile with some of these pairs that have infertility. And that would also give me an opportunity to foster, because it looks like, so for instance, I'm all worried about Storm here being infertile because he's old. Apparently he's one of the most fertile birds I've got in here. Haverty, one of the most fertile birds I got in here, but I wasn't worried about him. Who else was I worried about? Oh, Jester. So we're going to find out about him on Monday. And Hardy tomorrow. I just found an egg in the bottom of the cage over here. One of the things that commonly happens, and it looked like that's what happened with this one, is a hen will lay an egg and they're damp when they first lay them, and it gets stuck in her feathers. She'll lay it and be sitting on it, and as it dries onto her, the feathers on her rear end. Then she comes out of the box and it's stuck to her, and it gets knocked around the cage until it eventually falls off. So it was over here laying on the bottom of the cage. It had 2 feathers stuck to it, and it was broken from being knocked around, so I pulled it out. So she's laying eggs for sure. She's going to be 1 short, but that's okay. All right, so that's the plan. I will keep you posted.